Today, I'm simulating getting a pet Pokemon from baby Bulbasaur all the way to Venusaur. I'm going to feed, play, train, build amazing habitats, and even have a bunch of intense battles with other Pokemon in order to see what it's really like to have a Pokemon in real life. But starting off, it's just an egg right now. It's very small right now, but every now and then it gives a tiny shake. And after walking around with it for a while, carrying it carefully, we now have a baby Bulbasaur that's brand new to the world. He's only a few inches tall with a tiny bulb on his back that will eventually grow into something incredible. Right now, it looks like he can barely walk on his little legs, unlike what he's going to turn into later in the video. So first, I just let the Bulbasaur take his first wobbly steps and realize that he's alive and exploring. After a short burst of energy, the baby Bulbasaur got tired and started napping peacefully. So I placed him in a small container with a soft towel to make him comfy and warm. But while he's asleep, we need to build him a proper habitat that he can live in, be fed in order to become a strong, healthy, and growing Pokemon. Hopefully we could do all this before he wakes up from his nap. I decided to make him a beautiful terrarium inside of this glass tank. It's going to have 3 main biomes for Bulbasaur to live in: a sunny meadow, a pond area, and a dense forest section. Bulbasaurs love sunlight for photosynthesis, so this is going to give him the energy he needs to grow big and strong. The entire meadow section is covered in soft grass, so he has something comfortable to rest on after his adventures. I also added a shallow pond with fresh water. Now, Bulbasaur is a grass type, so he actually loves water and needs it to thrive. But once we add him in, he's going to be doing something pretty cool with this water feature. But now it's time for the forest section, which is really important. For this section, it's going to be important to give him spots to hide, explore, and climb around so he can develop his vines, because he's definitely going to be needing those powerful vines later in his life. With the meadow, the pond, and the forest now finished, the entire habitat is complete with everything it needs for a young Bulbasaur to be raised properly, so that he can one day become a powerful beast to any other Pokemon who dares to attack, because he's going to be fighting a lot of other wild Pokemon later in this video. But for now, I picked up the little guy who finally woke up from his nap and gently placed him into his brand new home. Bulbasaur started exploring around and making himself at home in his new environment. He started climbing through the forest section, exploring every corner and discovering new things to interact with. And he even discovered the pond and took his first drink of fresh, clean water. But what's really cool is when he goes under the UV light, his bulb starts glowing brightly and he absorbs energy through photosynthesis, just like a real plant would do in nature. But now, in order to start training this hungry little Bulbasaur, he's going to need some nutritious food to grow. So I'm going to give him a bunch of different foods to see what he actually likes and prefers. Starting off with a strawberry to see if he enjoys sweet fruits and berries. Next, I gave him some fresh blueberries to try something a little different in taste. Then a big lettuce leaf to give him some healthy greens and vegetables. I think he's full from eating all that food and he's full of energy now. So I'm going to take him outside for his first ever Pokemon battle with a wild Caterpie that I found. Bulbasaur used Vine Whip for the first time ever and won his first Pokemon battle victoriously. But now he's pretty tired from his first intense battle, so I took him back inside carefully and placed him in the meadow section for some rest and recovery. For the next few days, I took Bulbasaur out for more battles with wild Pokemon and repeated the same routine with him eating different foods, battling new Pokemon, and learning new life skills that would help him survive. But little did I know what would happen next. At sunrise the next day, Bulbasaur went exploring in the backyard and encountered a wild Beedrill, which is a giant wasp Pokemon, and things didn't go well at all. But at the perfect time, he evolved into the next stage of his journey, an Ivysaur with a bigger flower bud. The Ivysaur was now strong enough to defeat the dangerous Beedrill with his new power and abilities. Now that he's evolved and become a lot bigger and stronger, he's going to need a new habitat to live in. This time it's going to be outdoors in the backyard garden with more space to grow, explore, and train. Ivysaur spent his days training hard, eating healthy foods, and growing stronger every single day, preparing himself for his final evolution into something amazing. And after all that training, all those battles, all that growth and development, Ivysaur was finally ready for his ultimate transformation into his final form. But that's a story for another time. Thank you all for watching, and let me know in the comments what Pokemon you want to see next.